जय शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। जय राधा माधव कुंज विहार गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरधरधारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज विहार गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरधरधारी। यशोदानंदन भज जन रंज यशोदानंदन भज जन रंज यमुना तीरवनचारि यमुना तीरवनचारि। जय राधा माधव कुंज विहार गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरधरधारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज विहार गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरधरधारी। यशोदानंदन भज जन रंजन यशोदानंद भज जन रंजन यमुना तीरवनचारि यमुना तीरवनचारि यमुना तीरवनचारि। जय राधा माधव कुंज विहार गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरधरधारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज विहार गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरधरधारी। Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Shama Sundar Radha Shama Sundar Shri Radha Jaya Gauradita 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 Jaya Gauradita Jaya Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Jaya Vrindavan Jaya Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Jaya Vrindavan Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Srila Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Jai Shri Prabhupada ki Jai. So I think we have completed the first chapter. Now we have to start the second chapter. Second chapter also we have read some parts. Yeah. So let us start by invoking the blessings of the Acharyas. Soma Gyana Tivinandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaisnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagna Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitams He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanto Radha Kanto Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vanchakalputrobhyascha Kripa Sandubhyaiva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधारा शिवासादि गौर भक्त हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे हरे one last time hare krishna 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 hare 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 rama 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 hare hare. Okay, so we are continuing to read the second chapter. Okay, let me know uh, till what point we have read. So we read last time that sadhana bhakti, two stages of there are ultimately three stages of bhakti: sadhana bhakti, bhava bhakti, and prema bhakti. But raganugas bhakti can be classified into two stages. One is Vedi raganuga sadhana bhakti and raganuga bhakti. And then there are three types of karma. Yeah, vikarma, akarma, and karma, which we studied in Bhagavad Gita chapter 4. So all these sadhana bhakti activities are classified in a karma category because they don't have any material reaction. They are transcendental and they can dissolve depending on the potency of bhakti shakti. They can dissolve our sanskaras, actually our bad sanskaras. So let's start reading from here. Narad Muni mentions this sadhana bhakti in Srimad Bhagavatam 7th canto 1st chapter verse 32. He says there to King Yudhishthir, my dear king, one has to fix his mind on Krishna by any means. So yena kena prakarena mana Krishna niveshe. Smartavyam satatam Vishnu vismartavyam na jatachit sarve vidhi nishedacha etayor eva kinkara. So all the problems in our life is because of we are not able to elevate our consciousness. We are not able to fix our mind on Krishna. And for that, this association of devotees is very, very important. Prasangan mama veera samvido bhavanti ritkarna rasayana katha tajjoshanadashu upavargavartmani shraddharatiryassanu kramishati. So in the association of devotees, it becomes very easy to remain Krishna conscious and to fix our mind on Krishna. Because most of the things in our life, the struggles which we are having, are because we don't have sufficient faith in Guru and Krishna. That struggle is because we are in the doer mentality. We are not happy with whatever Krishna is giving. We want to expand. We want more and more and more. That is the greed mentality is there, because of which our life becomes more complicated and we miss the entire point of Krishna consciousness. So in the association of devotees, we experience higher energy and higher satisfaction, as we studied in the Bhishma Dev's instruction to Yudhishthir Maharaj, that all the problems like overeating or greed, they can be overcome by good association, by doing yoga. So in good association, it's very easy to perform yoga. Yoga means you are always feeling the presence of the Lord. You are feeling the connection with in the relationship with Krishna. So if you feel that, then you will feel that you don't need anything else. Then your greed will subside. So that is the crux of everything. That feeling connected and feeling the presence of Krishna in our relationship with Krishna is a solution to everything. Yumam pashyati sarvatra sarvam nachame pranashyati. Okay, so when one sees Krishna's hand behind every activity, then then one is feeling Krishna conscious. So it is the duty of the Acharya, the spiritual master, to find the ways and means for his disciple to fix his mind on Krishna. That is the beginning of sadhana bhakti. So we should approach spiritual master might not be available so much. So we should approach ourselves and suggest some ways to the spiritual master. Okay, I am finding this strategy which can help me to fix my mind on Krishna. So the spiritual master can help you select some activity. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us an authorized program for this purpose centered around the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. This chanting has so much power that it immediately attaches one to Krishna. That is the beginning of sadhana bhakti. Somehow or other, one has to fix his mind on Krishna. The great Saint Ambarish Maharaj, although a responsible king, fixed his mind on Krishna, and similarly, anyone who tries to fix his mind in this way will very rapidly make progress in successfully reviving his original Krishna consciousness. So, fixing mind on Krishna and reviving our Krishna consciousness are two different things. In the first thing, there is a lot of effort. You have to be enthusiastic to wake up early in the morning, to take association of devotees, to observe days like Ekadashi, Janmashtami, to go to bed early in the night, right? So all these activities will help you put your mind on Krishna. But reviving of Krishna consciousness happens gradually by the sanction of Krishna. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhya Kabuna Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte Karadevada. So when Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte, when basically your consciousness gets purified by various spiritual activities like hearing, chanting, then the sun rises, sun of Krishna conscious rises, and you can see everything as it is. So we have to be patient. Patient has to be patient. So if patient is patient, then he will see Krishna, Krishna's mercy. Now this sadhana bhakti or practice of devotional service may also be divided into two groups. Hana? One is the sadhana, one is Raganuga bhakti, and first is Vedi sadhana bhakti. I think we have read this. Yeah. So the definition of Vedi sadhana bhakti is when there is no attachment or no spontaneous loving service to the Lord, and one is engaged in the service of the Lord simply out of obedience to the order of spiritual master or in persons other scriptures. So when you read Nectar of Instruction, it gives so many rules and regulations. Vacho vegam, manasa krodha vegam, जिह्वा वेगम मुद्रोपस्थ वेगम एतान वेगान यो विषयत धीरा सर्वाम अपिमाम पृथ्वीम सशिष्य हत्याहार प्रयासश्च प्रजल्पो नियमाग्रह जनसंगस्य लौल्यं च षड्भिर्भक्ते विनश्यति उत्साह निश्चयात् धैर्यात् तत्तत्कर्म प्रवर्तनात् संगोत्यागात् सतोवृत्ते षड्भिर्भक्ते प्रसिद्ध्यति. So there are 18 such rules, 18 such parameters in performing bhakti. And in the purport, Prabhupada is writing very, very long purports to these verses, 9 pages long. But in the purport, Prabhupada writes that we should follow, these are basic rules which we should follow, and these rules act as litmus test whether you are performing bhakti or not, whether you are acting on spiritual platform or not. But if we get the association of a spiritual master, a pure devotee of the Lord, then we don't need to really overemphasize on these rules, because that association solves every problem. Because you are always feeling greedy, a lot of excitement is there to take that association. So you receive the sound vibration in your heart, and you always feel very, very happy and satisfied in that association. So you don't need to really overemphasize on the rules and regulations. So that is niyamagraha and niyamagraha. Rules and regulations are meant to increase our attachment to devotees and Krishna. If it is not doing that, then we should try to change our approach. Whatever increases our attachment to Krishna, that we should do. These principles of Vedi Bhakti are also described in Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, first chapter, verse 5, where Sukdev Goswami instructs the dying Maharaj Pariksit as to his course of action. Maharaj Pariksit met Sukdev Goswami just a week before his death, and the king was perplexed as to what should be done before he was to pass on. Many other sages also arrived there, but no one could give him the proper direction. Sukadeva Goswami, however, gave this direction to him as follows: My dear king, if you want to be fearless in meeting your death next week, for actually everyone is afraid at the point of death, then you must immediately begin the process of hearing and chanting and remembering God. If one can chant and hear Hare Krishna and always remember Lord Krishna, then he is sure to become fearless of death, which may come at any moment. So, this chanting and hearing are so powerful that you can always remain blissful. No external situation, no insecurity will haunt you. You will have full faith in Krishna that he will protect you and maintain you from all dimensions. Lord Chaitanya, he never used to go to any Grasta's house who did not chant 64 rounds. Only to Lakpatis he used to go because they were full of bliss. Brahmabhuta prasannatma na chochiti na kankshati samak sarveshu bhuteshu madbhaktim lavate pura. So in the statements of Sukdev Goswami, it is said that the supreme personality of Godhead is Krishna. Therefore, Sukdev recommends that one should always hear about Krishna. He does not recommend that one hear and chant about demigods. Mayavadis say that one may chant any name, either that of Krishna or those of the demigods, and the result will be the same, but actually, this is not a fact. So, if you want to go to Mumbai, then you will book a ticket. You will board the train which goes to Mumbai, right? If you board some other train, you will go somewhere else. So, your destiny depends on the persons you are worshipping, on the persons you are making your role models. So, that is your destiny. That's why in Nectar of Instruction also, Prabhupada writes at the end of a purport that if you take association of a Kanishta Adhikari, then at max you can become a Kanishta Adhikari. You cannot become a Madhyamadhikari. To become Madhyamadhikari, you have to take association of Madhyamadhikari. Or from Shastra, if you try to apply those principles in your life, then you can become a Madhyamadhikari if you get proper realization, proper experience, experiential learning. It's said, right? Yeah. He also mentions that the supreme personality of Godhead is Sarvatma. Sarvatma means the super soul of everyone. Krishna is also mentioned as Ishvara, the supreme controller who is situated in everyone's heart. Therefore, if some way or other we become attached to Krishna, he will make us free from all danger. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said that anyone who becomes a devotee of the Lord is never vanquished. Others are always vanquished. Yeah, we have read this. And this also we have read. Okay, Pragya Mataji, can you read the next two paragraphs from here? Hmm. So in Bhagavad Gita also we'll find that there are like to every so if you see that verses right, um, Devanasmin Yatha De So first, Krishna gives the definition of dhira, and then he gives the qualities of a dhira. Matra sparshasthu kondeya, shitoshna sukha. And then he tells that if one is able to show these qualities, then one is eligible for liberation. So Krishna always carries the conversation in a very systematic way. First, it will tell what is Buddhi Yoga, what is the nature of intelligence, who are cultivating Buddhi Yoga, Vyavasayatmika, Buddhi Rekha, Kurunandana. And then Krishna will tell that what is not Buddhi Yoga, what are not the characteristics of a person who is performing Buddhi Yoga. Bahushaka hi anantasya buddhyo vyavasayana. So, in order to emphasize a principle, Krishna does this both the things. It reinforces the definition and it removes the prohibition. So both vidhi and nisheda are important in order to emphasize the spiritual principle, because this principle is very important. It has 1 second. Prabjit Rao, can you read next paragraph? Or okay, okay. Simran Mataji, please. Shrikar Rao. Right. Yeah, you can read one more row. Hare Krishna Prabhu, 1 second. Thank you, Prabhu. For example, a Brahmana who is born out of the head of the Lord has as his business to preach the transcendental Vedic sounds of Shabda Brahma. Because the Brahmana is the head, he has to preach the transcendental sound and he also has to eat on behalf of the Supreme Lord. According to Vedic injunctions, when a Brahmana eats, it is to be understood that the personality of Godhead is eating through him. So different classes of people have different duties, different dharmas. And practically speaking, there are very few brahmanas in this Kaliuga, right? They are not going. Only ISKCON is the only saving grace. One second. Huh? Actually, one who preaches the message of the Gita is very dear to Krishna, as is confirmed in the Gita itself. Such a preacher is factually a Brahmana, and thus by feeding him, one feeds the Supreme Lord directly. Similarly, the Kshatriya has to protect people from the onslaughts of Maya. So the fire and the mouth of Brahmana are considered the mouth of Krishna. Yeah. We discussed this that Kshatriya are supposed to protect the consciousness of the people, and Vaishyas are supposed to protect the consciousness of animals, and Shudras are have to support all the other Varnas, Brahmana, Kshatriya, and Vaishya. Okay, and all these Varnas and Ashtamas are by Varna is by quality and by tendency. It's not by birth. How you act that defines your Varna. So Lord Sri Krishna instructed Uddhava that by following the injunctions of the social and spiritual orders of human society, one can satisfy the supreme personality of Godhead.